JGR's Paint and Body Shop is its gift wrapping department. Cars are transformed from raw and anonymous into the very recognizable racing machines that will be rolled out onto the track at Daytona.
Been in Joe Gibbs since 1991. Looked over the body shop for quite a while. My job is to try to keep everything on schedule, you know, to keep the cars moving out and coming in and scheduling who's supposed to do what, and so we can get to the racetrack quick.
This is a chassis here that's been prepped for the 010 season. We've mounted it on a rotisserie so it's easier to paint as far as instead of laying on your back and fighting things, and it's a lot easier to turn. The chassis has been washed with a degreaser and it's been prepped.
All right, now we're going to tack it off, blow it off, tack it off. We'll put a coat of epoxy on it, give it 10 or 15 minutes. We'll go in and mix our gray. We'll put 2 coats of single-stage gray on it. We'll flip it 2 different times to make sure all the bars and stuff are covered. Give it 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll hit bake for an hour or so, 50 minutes. And then take the dashes off, shoot them black, and this process of the car will be done.
This whole process probably takes about an hour as far as start to finish. By the time you're ready to paint, the whole process itself is probably a half a day as far as from the degreasing, the mounting on the rotisserie and taping off and drip checking and all that.
All the teams have got 10 cars apiece, let's say, to start out with. There's speedway cars, and you got short track cars, and you got intermediate cars. But after the season starts, we're building all them cars. Then every car that goes to the racetrack, you have to redo that car when it gets back. You have to go through the same process. Everyone watching the race on TV, and they wreck, we cry back here in the body shop. So if you see a dent on TV where you can see a pretty good dent, usually when it gets back to here, it's usually a big dent.
The next step in basically after you paint the chassis and painting the car, you bring it back to us in our prep station, and we grind all the seams down. After we do that, blow them off, and we Bondo all the seams on the car. And after we Bondo it, we bring it out here to the inspection grid. NASCAR's got one just like this at the track. Before the cars can get on the track, they template it, everything's good, they get on the track. But my next step is we'll go back and we'll prime it. And then after we prime it, basically we'll sand the primer, tape it up, and it's off to the paint shop.
At the start of the year, we have a schedule. And on the computer or whatever, they'll send me email. We have a list of how it's going to be the whole year. Artwork on some of these cars, the 18 car, for example, it could change from week to week.
This is usually the first decal we start with on the cars, either the left side or the right side of the car. And then we'll work our way forward, then finish up at the front. What we do here is pull this backing paper off. It makes it where we can pull the decal around and stretch it. We'll cut this excess off like that, and that way when you pull the window out, you know, you got your black borders here. It just gives it a little detail, makes it look a little neater.
That's our goal. So every year we look forward to trying to win the championship, winning races, and making these cars look as good as we can.
This car right here, to most people, you would think it was a painted car. This car, the whole thing from ground up, is nothing but a wrap. It's all integrated in, it's slick, there's no lines on it nowhere. And this one's actually going to Daytona. So hopefully one of these 3 cars, the 18, 11, or 20, you will see down in Daytona, Florida, Victory Lane.